Well, hey there and hello, and welcome to the living room of the dollhouse for another reading from The Secret Language of Birthdays by Gary Goldschneider and Joost Elfers for September 7th, the day of success seekers. That's right, a lot of S's in there. All right, and here at the top of the page for the day of success seekers, September 7th, we have us a picture of a hand-drawn card, and behind it, what looks to be a turnip, and beside it looks to be a shovel. That's right. And I don't know if that's an adequate representation of the day of the success seekers, but who's to say? Sometimes we need to draw some lines, connect some dots to get there. But that's not what's important. What's important is it's September 7th, and it's your birthday today. Well, if it is, I just want to say happy birthday. That's right. That's what's important. And if this video finds you perhaps long or shortly after your birthday has already come and gone, I hope you had a happy birthday. That's right. I hope you had a happy birthday. And for everyone else who's just joining us randomly, or perhaps, and more ideally, to celebrate September 7th birthday, I just want to say hello and welcome, and hope you enjoy yourself. All right, and before we dive in with the redirect, let's roll some dice. All right, this is the DykASSt birthday cast, so we need to live up to the namesake there. And more importantly, we do it for synchronicity's sake. That's right. And here we rolled us a 2 and a 4 for 6. That's right, a 2 and a 4 for 6. Now, what is synchronicity, you may be wondering? Well, it's just you getting out in the world and letting the universe show you that you're on your path. And you do that by focusing on these numbers and looking out for them. And when you spy them, you chase after them with some vigor and some zeal. That's right. Sometimes they'll get away from you, but that's all right. That's the universe pushing you towards it and getting you where it's going to give you another sign. And sometimes it's not these big grandiose things that are going to hit you over the head. Sometimes it's just little things that show up, and you got to investigate. You got to be curious and not get frustrated, because sometimes maybe it's just to get you out of your comfort zone and get your steps in. That's right. But you never know. Maybe you might end up on old 6th Street and you find you number 42 in the address, and you go into this little shop, and what is it? Well, it just so happens to be like a, what do you call it? A farmer's market. And they got a push cart in there and it's full of turnips. You never know. It might take on a theme like that. And that's just a little bit of synchronicity for you. It might not change your life, but it's there to show you the universe is there with you on your path. That's right. So look out for your numbers and chase them down when you see them. All right, hey, let's dive in with your birthday read. All right, your month is September, your day the 7th, and your sign is 13 to 16 degrees Virgo of the Virgo II period specifically. And your quality and element is mutable earth. September 7th, the day of success seekers. Novels could be written about September 7 people and their never-ending pursuit of personal success. That they encounter obstacles on their way is indeed an understatement. The road is generally long, the difficulties manifold and perilous, but these determined individuals will not give up until they achieve what they have set out to do, even if it takes their dying breath to accomplish it. The world is not quick to understand or to recognize those born on this day, but by the sheer force of their willpower or the imaginative, creative thrust of their ideas, they eventually win people over to them. Strangely enough, September 7th people who rise more easily to the top of their field, perhaps at a young age, may feel denied their need to struggle for success. And some of them can give up everything they have accomplished and start all over again in another pursuit, much to the consternation of their family and friends. For it is not success as an end that captivates the minds of September 7th people, but the battle to achieve it. And those born in this day have a one-track mind when it comes to the following of their plans, and if necessary, battering their competitors, rivals, or detractors into submission. September 7 people do not make the most pleasant of enemies, both because their wish to annihilate is so profound and their inclination to grant mercy doubtful. On the other hand, they make excellent allies and friends, at least to those who stay on their good side. To do so may require remaining loyal to a shared cause or set of principles. September 7th, people who work in technical or highly specialized areas will not rest until they have gained complete mastery over their materials. And they exhibit great integrity in their work, and those who are involved in leading or ruling will fuse their subjects, followers, or employees into a cohesive, smooth-running unit, with no doubt whatsoever about who the boss is or what the goal. As family heads, those born on this day generally provide direction and inspiration to their children and mates, but will tolerate no insubordination. And real problems can arise when the children of September 7 people reach adolescence. The paradox is that although those born on this day will train their children to be individuals and think for themselves, they may have little taste for the inevitable frictions that will result. And September 7 people will be even more successful if they calm down a bit, learn to share responsibility with others, and fit in with the team. And the less concerned they are about gaining or losing supremacy, the better they, and consequently the group they represent, will do. And those born on this day sometimes mellow with age, but rarely lose their competitive edge. And perhaps the ideal life for them would be to achieve success in their very last years. But if September 7 people feel their dreams compromised, or worse yet, unrealized, nothing will bring them peace of mind. Well, all right. How about that for a birthday breakdown? Pretty unique, all right? The struggle is real, and that's what they're there for, right? All right, hey, let's dive in with some notes, see what I had to say about your birthday. Do a little bit of a commentary, if you like. Defined by your never-ending pursuit for personal success and the difficulties you endure in the process. And you possess an almost otherworldly determination to reach your goal for the sake of the struggle that comes in achieving it. All right. To the extent that some feel denied this struggle, and some start fresh to continue experiencing it, or to experience it at all. Right? Pretty interesting. At least apparently that's how it works out. All right. A very kind of specific masochism, some might say, but there are many different and unique dynamics people seek and dedicate their lives towards. Some so odd that even true masochism would seem almost normal, I would say. So the battle for success it is in your respect, even if that means showing your mastery and mindset for being the only one truly dedicated to your craft or crusade by crucifying your rivals. That's right. Total Sherman's March to the Sea kind of war, all right? To prove your place as the undisputed be-all, end-all. Or at least that's how the reading makes it seem to me, right? But let's see here. Lost my place. At least that's how the reading makes it seem. Oh. And I can appreciate it in a romantic sort of way, all right? But I would hope going to those lengths was warranted, all right? Not done just because there were other players on the field, all right? There's enough room for everybody, I would argue. Maybe I'm wrong, though. So I do agree with the idea of calming down a bit, even if it didn't make you more successful. I think the act of chasing a goal relentlessly speaks for itself, and be ruthless towards others seems excessive and a waste of your precious energy, if you ask me, at an additional sacrifice of your image, okay? But it does make for entertainment. So if you don't want to be entertaining to others that watch the calamity, you might want to shift that perspective a little bit, because there's going to be the folks out there laughing, and they don't care who it comes down on, you or your rival. They're just there for the battle, all right? Any of it. Something to be mindful, I suppose. Just not sure that's what you're going for, okay? You're there for the struggle, apparently. Anyway, but that's very interesting in my mind, all right? And in a romantic sort of way, like I said, I can get behind it. But it just doesn't, it's not a good look, okay, if that's what you're there for. So, I don't know. There's room on the field for everybody. You get it. All right, hey, let's dive in with your numbers and your planets, all right? Those born on the 7th of the month are ruled by the number 7 and the planet Neptune. And because Neptune is the watery planet ruling visions, dreams, and psychic phenomena, September 7th people will be open to these unstable influences. Unstable. Combined with mercurial traits, as Virgo is ruled by Mercury. They have that in parentheticals there. This Neptunian side indicates a tendency towards sensationalism. All right, sensationalism. Therefore, September 7 people must beware around all psychic and occult activities which are not well grounded. And those ruled by number 7 traditionally like change and travel. This agrees with the need of September 7 people for excitement. All right. Hey, what do I have to say about your numbers and your planets? Let's get into it, shall we? Turn the page, flip the book. The number 7 in the dreamy planet Neptune for unstable influences. You heard it here, all right? And you read it in the book if you haven't. Unstable, and with the side of sensationalism imparted by the speedy planet Mercury. So beware the ungrounded, even if that open circuit is you yourself, all right? Regardless the excitement. You can be a live wire, but you know what? There might be some ramifications, all right? You might find you shock someone you care about, okay? And in so many words. So take the children mentioned who can be adversely affected. That's not great. You know, you had your best intention by letting them be an individual, but it came back to bite you because they turned out to probably take on some idealism, or what's the word for it? Idealism that you don't appreciate. And you're like, you're my child. You should understand where we're coming from. I expected you to be more like me, even though I told you to be an individual. And they don't do it. Ooh, you don't want that. I think that's what they're getting at. I could be wrong, though. In any event, that's what I'd say about your numbers and your planets. So let's move on with your tarot. That's right. One of the more eclectic New Age ideas, at least by my mind, but it's in the book, and it's interesting. It's not something I know about. So let's see what it has to say, all right? And see if it lines up with your birthday breakdown, etc. The 7th card, the major arcana, is the Chariot, which shows a triumphant figure moving through the world and manifesting his physical presence in a dynamic way. And the card may be interpreted to mean that no matter how narrow or precarious the correct path, one must continue on. And the good side of this card posits success, talent, and efficiency. And the bad side suggests a dictatorial attitude and a poor sense of direction. Ooh, we got to keep that push cart on the right side of the road there. All right. Hey, what do I have to say about your tarot here? We got the Chariot for the triumphant figure manifesting their physical presence in a dynamic way. Oh, all right. You already heard that part, which I'd say defines what's been conveyed here quite adequately, all right? Especially to say, no matter the quality of the path that one must continue on, the card almost seems to inform the breakdown on a rudimentary level, all right? Just mind the negatives. I reckon they'd crash the positives in no time, all right? And that is to say, that dictatorial attitude and that poor sense of direction. That's right. You want to drill down on that success, talent, and efficiency. You being dictatorial might throw all that off because people are going to be like, I don't want to. No. Then what's going to happen? You got to do it yourself. And you can't get much done when you do it yourself. Take that from me. In any event, hey, that was your tarot. I thought it lined up nicely with your breakdown, surprisingly. Sometimes it doesn't seem to connect. In any event, let's read on with your health. All right, your health. Those born on September 7th should undergo regular physical checkups, since they tend to neglect their health. Generally, September 7th people have such strong tastes in food that it is best if they learn to cook for themselves as early in life as possible. Exercise does not take a top priority in the lives of those born on this day, but the challenge of team sports presents a physical outlet. And September 7 people are often sensualists who require an active sex life to keep them happy. Well, all right. What I have to say about your health here. Don't neglect your health, all right? How are you supposed to be at the top of your game and slaughter your enemies if you're suffering from the failure of your own machine? All right, I'd say this surprises me, as you'd think someone keyed to succeed keep themselves tip-top. But it's a common theme, it seems, for anyone striving for excellence. So you're not alone there, all right? So take note, they also relate team sports for exercise, though they say you don't necessarily need much of it. How that's deigned by the power of the stars and planets, I don't know, but that's how they do it sometimes. And cooking for yourself, all right? Because you've got those elaborate tastes, all right. Perhaps all of which serves as a needed break from your true obsessions? Question mark there. You know, who's to say? But I reckon it might serve such ends. Just finding new outlets to get you out of your comfort zone or out of the zone that causes you stress, all right? And who's to say? It gives the other people that you're so ruthless against a bit of a break, right? Because they need to rally their strength so that when you come back, you got to fight just as hard, because you like the struggle, right? You don't want to keep breaking them down until they break. You want to give them a little rope, right? I don't know, I'm just guessing you want to keep the struggle going for as long as you can. In any event, hey, let's move on with some advice. All right, find it in your heart to accept. Tilting at windmills is not all there is to life, and learn to enjoy yourself and then pass that gift on to others. And don't be so hard on yourself and those near and dear to you, all right? An inflexible attitude plants seeds of rebellion. Ooh. And you don't want the people you care about rebelling, right? Those are the people you don't want to turn into adversaries, right? At least in your heart of hearts. All right, hey, let's move on to your meditation. All right, your meditation. Let's take the energy down just a little bit. All right. Everything happens twice. That's right. That's right. All right, let's get the transition down right. Everything happens twice. All right, hey, that's your meditation. I'm not going to try to break it down for you. It's just for you. It's your birthday. All right. Hey, let's move on to those. No. Your strengths and your weaknesses. I got ahead of myself. Your strengths and your weaknesses. Your strengths, you're diligent, you're goal-oriented, and you're determined. That's right. You knew that one. But let's dive in now with your weaknesses. Ooh, are you ready? Do you know these ones? All right, your weaknesses. You're over-competitive. We could have guessed that one. Insensitive. Maybe not that one, but you got this one here. Unforgiving. Ooh, over-competitive, insensitive, and unforgiving. Good traits to someone who's breaking other people's backs or perhaps putting them up on a cross. But not good for when you're trying to lead a positive life, right? Hey, any event. Now let's move on to those born on this day. All right, I'd like to take this as an opportunity to examine a very common issue here, I've found at least, in my consideration. You go out in the world and I meet a lot of people and, ask them what they do, more importantly, if they like it. And a lot of times they don't. And why is that? Because they just don't have a passion. They don't have something to get up in the morning and chase after with zeal and vigor, like the daily numbers there. But I would say that it's forgivable, because a lot of times we don't have time to put in the work to figure out what the passion is, and sometimes it takes a lot of dedication to drill down on. And so I figure by examining those born on this day, we not only see who shares your company and what lottery we drew with our shared birthday mates, or however you want to put that, but we see what made them famous, what put them in the book, all right? And perhaps if you don't have a passion of your own, maybe you can draw some inspiration from that, And a lot of people like to be original, but you know what? Originality is the most unoriginal idea. I've heard that somewhere. So who's to say you can't pick up where they left off, right? Or start your own path. In any event, let's quit talking about it and let's dive in with those born on this day. We start off strong with Queen Elizabeth I, the British 16th century monarch who presided over the emergence of Britain as a world power. All right, we have Sonny Rollins, the jazz tenor saxophonist and composer, as well as a band leader. So maybe play you some jazz, right? We also have Grandma Moses, who was a primitive painter and began career at 67. Oh, that's awesome. Got right after the art. See, she didn't know what her passion was until late, or she did and didn't have an opportunity to get after it. There you go. And then she made it in the book, right? We also have began career at 60. She was also 67 rather. She was also a quilt maker and lived to the age of 101. We also have Elia Kazan, a stage film director on the waterfront and east of Eden rather. We also have Buddy Holly, the singer-songwriter, rock and roll legend, killed in a plane crash. We also have Michael DeBakey, a cardiac surgeon, and he implanted the first mechanism to help pump blood. We also have James Van Allen, the physicist and discoverer of the Van Allen belt around Earth. We also have Paul Brown, an innovative football coach and general manager, owner, and took Cleveland Browns to 4 AAFC, 3 NFL titles. We have Chrissy Hynde, Hynde, Hind maybe? That might be it. British singer-songwriter of The Pretenders. We have Jacob Lawrence, a painter. We also have George Louis Count de Buffon perhaps, a French 18th century naturalist. I was going to say nationalist. 18th century naturalist, David Packard, the Hewlett-Packard Electronics co-founder. We also have Louise Suggs, the golf champion of 50-time LPGA events, an 11-time major winner. We have Edith Sitwell, the British poetess and a critic. We have J.P. Morgan Jr., the financier, banker, and amassed over $500 million. You know, he probably didn't take many prisoners. We also have Gloria Gaynor, the singer, Peter Lawford, the film actor, Taylor Caldwell, the novelist of The Devil's Advocate, Al McGuire, the baseball player, coach, and sportscaster, and Daniel Inouye. I'm not quite sure about that one. Inouye, U.S. Senator of Hawaii and a World War II hero. So let's do some butchering since Hooked on Phonics didn't work for me today. I messed up a lot of those names. It's not done in malice. It's just because, like I said, Hooked on Phonics didn't work for me. That's right. Okay, hey, that has been those born on this day. So maybe you can take some inspiration if you don't have your own path just yet. Maybe be an artist. You know, there were a few of them in there. And just like Grandma Moses, it's never too late to start because you might have another 41 years ahead of you or however long the math was. She lived to 101 because she took care of her health, probably, I used to say. In any event, I think that about wraps it up for your birthday, except to say your season is summer, and your sign once again is Virgo, of the Virgo II period specifically, and your quality and elements is mutable earth. That's right. And this has been September 7th, the day of Success Seekers, from The Secret Language of Birthdays by Gary Goldschneider and Joost Elvers. I have an affiliate link for this book down in the description if you're interested in picking up a copy and diving in to a deeper depth there. It makes a great coffee table book, something to add to your bookshelf to pick up from time to time. People I recommend this to that actually get it end up loving it, believe you me. But in any event, hey, more importantly, I just want to say happy birthday. If it was your birthday today, happy birthday. And it's found you late, like I said at the top, I hope you had a happy birthday. That's right. For everyone else that joined us, I hope you enjoyed yourselves and you join us for your birthday. And as I said again early at the top there, your daily numbers, don't forget them. Get out there and let the universe show you that it's with you on your path. 2 and a 4 for a 6. All right. Even though your day was the 7th, you know what? It doesn't always line up the way we think it will. All right. Anyway, hey, once again, happy birthday. Take care of yourselves.